Good morning, everyone. It's time. Well, welcome everyone in person and out there on YouTube, Facebook, and Zoom. Glad to have you here today. So I'm just going to invite us to stand for our two community songs. Well, our musician is in the kitchen. Yeah.
Showtime. Okay. Okay.
Pardon my redundancy.
Okay. You got the lyrics up there? Song written by Ricky Byers. With a little intro of our own. 2, 3, 4. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. More struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. And I let go, let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. We did this. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yeah, thank you. We just like that guitar part, so we start playing that. Oh well. Thank you, guys. Okay, how about another song? All right. All right, let's go to the Birds here. As he picks up his Roger McGuinn 12-string. Actually, the song was written by Pete Seeger, who got most of his lyrics from King Solomon a few thousand years earlier.
Yeah.
That's a fact, I think.
From Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
we thought it was going to be spring. Oh my gosh. So, what's alive in us today? Spring. Joy. Love. What was that, Van? Breathing. Yes. Community. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Well, welcome everyone who's joined us on YouTube, Facebook, or Zoom. And good morning. Welcome to the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. It is an honor for me to be your bridge minister. And I am going to remind us of who we are. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, supportive community that celebrates the diversity of creation, even the dogs. Come on in. We aspire to live authentic spiritual lives through a practical application of the teachings of science of mind. We engage in sacred practices that uplift our spirit, deepen our awareness, and ignite our soul's self-expression. We demonstrate active compassion to ourselves, each other, and the world. We experience meaningful contribution through giving generously of our time, talents, and treasure. And we intentionally promote our community and teachings. Today is the first Sunday of May, so it's Celebration Birthday Sunday. Anybody have May birthdays in the room? All right, Rev Lanny.
Yeah.
Let's sing happy birthday to Rev Lanny.
Birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Reverend Lonnie, happy birthday to you. Yeah.
Rev Lanny, what is the date of your birthday? 24th. The 24th. All right, great. We haven't missed it. All right. Anybody here for the first or second time? First or second time? My cousin, Denise. Just raise your hand. Glad you're here. Thanks for being here. All right. So now it's time for our announcements. But before that, I just want to thank our wonderful volunteer Van for weed eating our grounds. Thank you so much. We really appreciate. Also, there's another volunteer opportunity, and that is to be part of the visioning committee process of, we're gathering our visioning papers, and now we have the opportunity to go through the papers and pull out the threads from within them. So if you feel called to please help us in that way, let Juanita or myself know. All right? Cool. And now I'm going to invite our wonderful board member up, Hillary Dart, to share our announcements and a sacred reading. Oh, but one more thing, I just remembered. We sent out that email for the survey. Some of you thought of something after you already turned it in. Please feel free to turn it in again. We're collecting these for another week or so, and then we're going to present them to the board. There's hard copies right up there on the table if you don't want to go online to fill them in. We want to hear from you. All right, Hillary, now, for sure, it's time for you to come up. And here's the announcements. There's number 2. And then... Thanks for pointing that out. So the hard copy has only 2 questions on it. Okay. All right, so here you go. Thank you, Hillary.
That's okay. And then do I do the sacred reading right after?
Takes a village.
Yes, it does. Thank you. Yay, it's working. Good morning. My name is Hillary Dart, and I am pleased to be a member of your Board of Trustees. And here are the announcements. The participants of the April 2nd Revealing Newness Workshop will meet again today after service to complete the workshop. Our Manifestation Mastery Discussion Group will continue to meet on Tuesdays for the evening session from 5:30 to 6:30. And our Science of Mind study group that meets on Thursdays will now meet from 5:30 to 6:30 on Thursdays. Stay tuned for upcoming forgiveness workshops as well as a healing circle and book study circle. And there is still time to attend the art exhibition at the Center for the Arts, featuring photography from our own Dee Ann Donnelly. The exhibit continues through this Saturday, May 13th. And please help us thank Van Dart for his beloved service to Sierra Center. After last week's Sunday service, Van went home to collect his weed whacking gear and returned in the afternoon to clear out our driveway and rear parking area of weeds and dandelions. And it looks great. Thank you, Van. So here's our sacred reading for the day. Today's reading is Only Once by Thomas DeWitt Talmage, and it has been adapted for inclusive language. We live but once. The years of childhood when once past are past forever. It matters not how ardently we may wish to live them over, it avails us nothing. So it is with the other stages of life. The past is no longer ours. It has gone beyond our reach. What we have made it, it shall remain. There is no power in heaven or on earth that can change it. The record of our past stands forth in bold and ineffectible characters, open to the all-seeing eye of creation. The present moment alone is ours. Today is a day which we never had before, which we shall never have again. It rose from the great ocean of eternity and again sinks into its unfathomable depths. Yes, thank you, Thomas DeWitt Talmage.
Thank you so much, Hillary.
You're welcome.
So we've changed some things on the stage. There's something missing, right? So we're just going to change the way we do the candle lighting ritual. And so I'm going to invite our practitioner up, Shara Banbury, today. And we're going to light the center candle, honoring the infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen. And you may notice that I put this picture behind there that we got from Pat's estate. It actually looks like candles. It's actually people. And so, in addition to honoring the infinity of oneness, we're going to honor the light that is within us as a reminder that light of spirit is always within us. And now it's time for another community song by our wonderful musicians.
Everybody pick a note and go up like this. That's great. Try it again.
Thanks, guys. And now it's time for that inward shift part of our service. And I'm going to invite Shara up to share our community value. We'll go into our meditation. She'll bring us out with prayer and our affirmation for the week.
So, good morning. So would you look just to your left and to your right and just feel the love in this room? Because that's our core value, isn't it? We are, each and every one of us, love. We come from love, we express love, and we know when we are not in the place of loving or feeling loved, we're out of alignment. So what does that mean, to be out of alignment? Well, when we do the practitioner work, I know that we are steeped in that idea of seeing ourselves as magnificent beings. We are magnificent. We're made of the same stuff as the stars, and we are made from love. So you can tell that by looking out into the universes with these wonderful telescopes we have now, the beauty and the awesome diversity. And we bring it down into the microcosm, and we see in one another that the imperfections that our humanness would identify are not true. They're just a result of different conditions and different ways of learning about ourselves through some kind of education, whether it's parental or schools or whatever. So I invite you this morning to really go deeply into your love of yourself, into your love of each other, and out into the community. So I'm going to ring the bowl 3 times, and then we're going to say Om 3 times. We have so many Oms this morning, we ought to be all one, right? So I'm going to ring the bowls first. And as you go deeper, please feel your bodies just relaxing into your chairs. Om. 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 Now we'll love. Love, love, love. All we need is love. All we have is love. All we are is love. That divine love that creates and inspires all of its creation is present right now. It fills me up with joy, with a dancing heart, with the commitment to always strive to be more loving. And I know that it fills the hearts of each and every one in our Sierra Center for Spiritual Living this morning, and those who are connecting with us online, reaching out to be shared, to be filled with the joy of connection, to be filled with the joy of springtime, and to heal all those who may feel separate for any kind of physical or mental or other reason. I love you. Please know how magnificent you are, just as I know that for myself. There is no wrongdoing. There is only learning through mistakes in the human condition. There is forgiveness and there is always love. Feel it. Feel it permeate every single cell of the body. Send it into those places that need to let go of what is unlike itself and to become love again. This is our blessing. This is the joy of creation. This is our gift. And each one of us is able to receive that gift with an open heart. I'm so deeply grateful to know that, to feel that healing power, that sweet connection, and that joy as I speak my word into the divine mind and soul of all that is. I know that it is part and done by Spirit through that beautiful connection that we have with our Creator, as we say together, and so it is. Namaste. I'm reminded by our Rev Lanny that I have an affirmation to do with you. And it should be up here, yes. So I'll say it once, and then we'll say it twice together so that we really take it in. Okay. My inward journey and outward experience are in perfect alignment. My inward journey and outward experience are in perfect alignment. My inward journey and outward experience are in perfect alignment. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you, Rev Lady.
Rev Lanny, thank you. You're so good at reminding us of what to do next. You had all that practice, huh? That was a lot of practice. And so I'm going to invite our musicians now to share a pre-talk song with us.
Upside down and inside out, repeatedly defeated, I've been messed about, kicked in the head and out of bed, kicked into believing it was something that I said. But oh, tomorrow things will change. But tonight I think I'm gonna drown my sorrows again. They say that I'm to blame, it's all my fault, and take the things I say with just a pinch of salt. I sold my soul for just one night, then I spent a lifetime trying to make it right. But oh, tomorrow things will change. But tonight I think I'll roll up and get out of my brain. 'Cause one day, someday, our love will change the world. And you come back to me. Our faith in a God-man man, one that betrays us every chance again. We stumble on in wind and rain, even in the sunshine we get burned again. But oh, tomorrow things might change. But tonight I think we'll drown our music again. 'Cause one day, someday, our love will change the world. And you come back to me. One day, someday, love will reign again. When you come back to me. Tonight I'll dream of you. I'll dream I'm lying there in your arms, dreaming of you. 'Cause one day, someday, love will reign again. When you come back to me. One day, someday, our love will change the world. Thank you. Thank you.
It's beautiful. Thank you. So I keep changing things. And I've been wanting to do this for years. On the first Sunday of the month, right, I'm inviting us to do something different. And that is to take some time to just check in with each other. We've been studying about vulnerability and authenticity. We've had some workshops. We've had a sacred healing workshop a couple of times. We started visioning, and we're starting to come back to the center. More people are showing up, and so things are changing. We're in transition, and so I just want to give us the opportunity, us, as all of us, the opportunity to share, what's been going on for you. What insights have you discovered? What opportunities have you had to practice vulnerability and authenticity? What has the visioning process been like? How are you feeling about being in this transition period as a center? And so I'll ask Shara to pass the mic around if anyone would like to share. And I can start us off. So I'll just share that, I love that today's core value is love. I mean, that's the reason why I'm here in this center, because of the love I have for all of you and our center. And this teaching has been so transforming in my life. And somebody, I met with a distant relative a couple of weeks ago, and they asked, well, what made you want to become a minister? And when I first found the Sierra Center, it was at Seaman's Lodge, and we were Religious Science International, right? And I started taking the classes, and I really just dove right in because I felt like I had found my home. And the classes just transformed my life. The Science of Mind and Spirit teaching was an amazing opportunity for me to heal from some of my deepest wounds and to continue to grow and evolve on my spiritual path. And at that time, in order to teach Science of Mind classes, you had to be a minister to Religious Science International. And so I thought way back then, at some point, I would want to become a minister. That's not the case in centers for spiritual living. You can be a practitioner, you don't have to be a minister to teach. But that's when I first felt like, well, I'm going to become a minister because I want to help transform people's lives through this teaching. And so because of the profound healing experiences I've had and the life transformation processes that I've gone through in community, I mean, you all, some of you all have seen me over the years, the things that I've gone through, really challenging times. And to be able to have a loving community that could hold me physically and emotionally and spiritually has been a huge blessing to me in my life. And so that's why I'm here today, to be of service to you, because I love you all. I love this community very much. And it's just an honor for me to be able to be here and be in this bridge minister. It's a bridge minister position. And for the next few months, for however long that lasts. And I'm just grateful to all of you for loving me and being the witness of my journey. And I just thank you. And so I'm going to give you the opportunity to share.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I feel that the last 2 or 3 years has been really challenging for a lot of people. I heard something about loneliness is now a epidemic like obesity in America. And so, and I've always been kind of drawn to groups where we're pulling together and being
authentic with each other and honest. And so I have a few groups like that I belong to, and I treasure those like you do. And I think that because the last years have been so intense, it's a good time for this center to figure out how we can attract those people who are sitting at home lonely, or looking at Zoom or whatever, the people who need what you're talking about, the love that we have here. And I'm not sure how that's going to happen, but I'm sure there's a way, because all the other, or I shouldn't say all, a lot of the other centers are having some success attracting people, and so we can learn from them. But I'm in a lot of ways grateful that we have a small group, because we're getting very tight, this group of people. I feel like we're all getting to know each other and welcoming new people, and so we're creating a foundation, and that feels really powerful, and I appreciate you and your style and creating that. So.
Thank you.
One of the things that I read the Science of Mind magazine every morning, and I'm trying to take this in, is that I can see things going on in other people's lives, but I haven't been able to see what's going on in mine. How do I change myself into a more loving, kind person? So I've been paying attention. If something triggers me, I start to have a judgment about it, I think, no, that's something within me that I need to change. And so I've been really working on that. And Rev Julia has been such a good example of, being authentic and open. I've always wanted to put on a good face. I didn't want people to see my faults. So I'm really working on that right now, and feel that that's going to help me, and those around me, of course. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you. Let me begin with, I'm Van. I'm the one who did the weed whacking, and my dear sister, is Hillary. Now, you touched on something called loneliness, and yes, it is affecting a lot of Americans today. I find this very sad. Luckily for me, I have a sister. So if you have blood out there, call them up, say hi. Okay, folks out there that might be lonely, my heart really touches upon your loneliness. I have been extremely lonely many times in my life. I was a bachelor for 40 years before I married my dear wife. Now, I can't tell you how to live your life, but I can let you know that there are angels all around us. The spirit, our spirit that lives within us, is part of that. We have actually been there and back again. It might be what you would call a physical place, a dimension that we're not familiar with, because we can't get there and get back. Actually, for some of the more enlightened, they actually have been able to get there and back, or be there and here too. You know, the old saying, being two different places at once. Yeah, sure. But in a spiritual sense, yeah, you can be. You can be there with all the people that have passed, and you can be in touch with their spirit. Like the Chinese and their ancestors, the Japanese and their ancestors are very good at that, their societies. But yeah, stay connected with your past, it's okay. Stay connected with all the people that have passed in your life, it's okay. They're still there, a piece of them, even though a lot of them have been reborn and are back again. if you believe in that sort of thing. So, to everyone with a good spirit who are alone, you're not really alone. You're surrounded by love.
Thank you, Van. I've been wanting to say this for a long time. About 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, I was in a really dark place. I didn't even want to talk to people. And I'm kind of a social butterfly. I need people, but I didn't want anybody around me. I was so, I was so rotten inside. But then something deep inside, I thought about a person of light and a beautiful person. And so I felt a little vulnerable doing this because I wasn't feeling good about myself at all. So I called up the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living, thinking I was going to have to ask permission from Reverend Rafe if I could go out on a date with Hillary. I actually thought that. Because that's how bad I felt about myself. I thought I had to ask somebody else. But the message got to me, and about this time last year, 2 years ago, Hillary answered me back, and she was happy to meet me at the Holbrooks for a very expensive dinner. And it wasn't that good, but I'll tell you what, the company was great. When I saw her car coming around the corner and that face, and I've been on a magic carpet ever since. Thank you for the love. And I want to tell you, it pays to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
It really does. I took quite a chance, but it was okay. It worked out great.
Thanks, Don. Anybody else?
So since I left the Sierra Center as the senior minister, I had taken a year off to go to Unity in that time so that Reverend Rafe could settle in. And then I was able to come back, and then, of course, we had the pandemic, so I served periodically as a practitioner. And but I decided I needed to get involved in other organizations, and so I did. And now I am involved in so many organizations that I am busy every day. And then I decided, I was once told that the Chinese character for busy is mind destroy. They put those two pieces together, and that's the word for busyness. And so I've realized that by spreading myself out over all of these organizations, I have some time to devote to each one, but not really quality time because I have too many other things on my plate. And so it's really time to figure out what's important and to do the very best I can with those organizations that I want to be a part of that are more important to me. So that's the transition I'm going through right now, is letting go and stepping up.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Well, I think the whole world fell apart during the pandemic, and now we're all figuring out how to put the world back together. And you can never step in the same stream twice. So we're not going to just go back and be able to wave a magic wand to the way things were. And so for me, while it can be the unknown can be scary, but it's also a wonderful opportunity to be creative and inventive and to consciously figure out what really we want and create it.
Thank you, Judy.
It really helps to be vibrationally with the people in the center because I'm going through that transition, like organizing every little thing, because we're being called to be all that we can be right now, to help the planet lift up. And for us to really go deep and find our next step, even if it's scary, even if we have to go up a huge level and show up at that level. And it's good to hear Lanny, because I had to, put all my, my herb book, my healing book, my vibrational sound therapy, all my gifts, and really concentrate on the next level we're to go up to. Because we're all being called to lift up. And the spiritual aspect of it is so important because it's like, okay, I need that guidance at this time, that guidance to make sure I'm on the, right path. Because it's huge for us. But we're willing and able, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd just like to add that puppies helped me through the pandemic. So you never know where the love's going to come from. I have 2 adorable puppies. And every morning I wake up and I turn on puppy music, which is usually children's songs, and I dance. And they sit on my recliner, where I used to sit all by myself, and watch me dance, fascinated. So I invite you to all think about where love can come from, because it's not always human.
True. Thank you. Well, thank you all for sharing. It's such a beautiful demonstration of the wisdom of spirit that is in each one of us. The things that you've shared are just beautiful. And, we have that wisdom inside of us, and we can always go there to check in and ask, what is mine to do? What's the next right thing for me to do, right? And I love what I heard in the room today, because it was very much about the talk title was something like, there's light in the dark, right? And, discovering what lies underneath our surface. And one of the ways we can discover that is through meditation and just taking time out to be silent and observe our thoughts and see what comes up when we do that. What are those thought patterns that are going on in there, right? That we may not be consciously aware of because we're so busy. And when we can just stop and be in the silence. And that gives us the opportunity to discover some of the work that we can do on ourselves. Like, I'm not really glad that I'm thinking those things. What lies underneath that? What needs to change? What needs to be healed? And then, we have the opportunity, if we want, to share it with somebody and be vulnerable. And like Dawn pointed out, vulnerability can pay off big time. Right? It can build those bridges to love between us. And so I just feel very grateful to each one of you. This is, when people come to visit our center, the thing that they mention, I've heard personally, and maybe you have too, is that we have a very loving community. And I believe that's true. And I feel like, it is a gift that there's just a few of us, because it does feel like we're building up a close-knit foundation to open up to what Spirit has in mind for us. We don't know. It could be anything. It could look totally different than it does now. So I invite us not to be attached to what we think we want or what we think it should be, but just continue to be open and neutral to what Spirit has in mind for us, because, I personally, I just be happy doing church outside in nature. That's my idea of what would feel great. But it's not about me, it's about all of us collectively opening up to ourselves, to that infinite intelligence that already knows the highest good for this center. And it can be something totally magnificent that we haven't even thought of individually. So that's what I love about the co-creation process, is that, I remember when I served on the board, just being on the board, it was so exciting to me to see each individual idea come together and create something magnificent that we couldn't do just with one or two of us, right? So I love this process. I love being part of this community. Thank you for showing up and shining your light and being willing to do the work that it takes to be our authentic selves. And I'm just going to end with that. And with great gratitude, I'm going to turn it back over to the musicians, I think. Is that right? I might have to look at the intentional giving. Okay, I'm going to stand up and go read the directions. Okay, so this is the time of our conscious giving. And so I invite us to just stand up and share our prosperity affirmation together. As we say together, I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And now for our song. Thank you. I want to thank our wonderful musicians today, Juanita, Judy, Hillary, our wonderful practitioner, and thank all of you for having the courage to share and courage to do the work that it takes to be authentic and vulnerable. And so I'm going to bless these offerings right now. And I just thank that infinite spirit, that infinite givingness, that creator, that creation, that continues to pour in through and as our life in the form of abundance, all manner of abundance, and especially today, right now, for these financial gifts. And so I know that as we give, we are blessed, and that these gifts go out into our community because we are a tithing church, and it blesses the world. And I just say, thank you, God, and so it is. So what are we taking away with us today? Love, lots of love. All right. Gratitude. Thank you. Openness. Beautiful. Vulnerability. Okay. Great. Well, I invite us to stand for our benediction. All right. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Happening as me right now.
It's this thing called vulnerability.
It's this thing called vulnerability.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called community. I know it. I feel it. I sense it because I am it.
Because I am it.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Now for our closing song.
They did it like people and not candles, you know. That screen you had up there, those were people, not candles. Remember that picture? Yeah. Oh, right there. That's it. Right there. Yeah. Those are people.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're people.
Okay. All right.
Judy Hall. Yes, in case you know who Judy Hall is, she painted this beautiful picture.
She gets into where she sees vision.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay. How about this little light of mine? Why not? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine all the time. Let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine all the time. Let it shine. Monday gave me the gift of love. Tuesday, peace came sure enough. Wednesday told me to have more faith. Thursday gave me a little more grace. Friday told me to sing and pray. Saturday told me what to say. Sunday gave me power divine to let my little light shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine all the time. Let it shine. Let it shine all the time. Let it shine. Let it shine all the time. Let it shine. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. And just as a reminder, if you want to finish your workshop from April 2nd,